Hello, it's Jay here again and welcome to another tutorial. So in this lesson we're picking up exactly where we left off in the last lesson, and now we're going to begin to fill out our enemy spawn point manager script, and we'll begin at the top. So we'll create a public of type game object, and we'll give this a naming convention of _easy enemy. We'll close that line off. We'll say creates slot in inspector to assign the easy enemy game object. And we'll just copy that line and we'll paste it in twice more. And I'm sure you've guessed what I'm going to do. I'm going to change it from easy to medium and then to hard for the next one. And you can create as many of these as you like. You can have very easy, very hard, you know, as many different ones as you please. But I'm just going to do 3 just for testing purposes. Easy, medium and hard game enemy. We'll come below, I'll create a line break and we'll create our public transform with capital T underscore player. Close that line off, into the comments. Creates a transform to store the player game object. In fact, you can say game objects transform if you wish, but public vector 3 underscore player position. Close the line off, into the comments. Creates a vector 3 to store the player's position. They're the variables we need for now. So come to the void start. We're going to say don't destroy on load, open and close brackets, close the line off. Inside the brackets we're going to say this, and into the comments, so don't destroy when loading a scene, or you can put new scene if you wish. And then we'll come to the void update. If open and close brackets, inside brackets, now we're going to use the underscore player variable we've just created, double equals null. So we'll say if underscore player transform is equal to null, then we're just going to return, close the line off, into the comments. We'll say then do nothing and return, and then we'll use an else statement. The next line is going to be underscore player position is going to be equal to underscore player dot transform dot position, all lowercase this time. Close the line off, into the comments. I'll just break this up for commenting. We'll say else make, and I'll use the variable name player position equal to the player, I'll use underscore player, transform position. So we need this code because obviously we're going to get an error otherwise, because the player isn't loaded into the scene until we hit a button now. When we load the scene, as you can remember from the previous videos, we now have a GUI saying start game, and only then after we hit a button do we load the player prefab. So this line, or these two lines should I say, are to prevent an error, or else if the player doesn't equal null, then we make the player position equal to the player transformed position. So now we'll come to cache player for enemy spawn. Game object again with capital G underscore player, and we'll use game object equals, and now we're going to use game object again with capital G dot, and we want find game object with tag. We want the singular object, not objects, so please be aware of that. We'll open and close brackets, close the line off. Inside the brackets we'll put the little speech marks. Inside we're going to put player. So let's put this into the comments. Game object, in fact, how shall I word this? Let's say new game object with name of this naming convention, and we're going to say equals find a game object with a tag of player. Again, I'll put this in speech marks. So let's just save that off. We'll downsize mono develop. We'll come to our project, wait for it to recompile. We'll hit play. As soon as we hit play, we can come to the don't destroy and load. We'll open it up, and our enemy spawn point manager is there. So it's loading into the scene, and it's remaining in the scene even when we transition. So let's just save that off, and let's come to resources. So we have the tag. So let's have a look through our other scripts. So we're loading it in through Launch Manager. Let's just find the references. So I'm just checking through at the moment because we're not getting a reference to the player's position, and we should do. And of course I forgot to add a line of code again, so we'll say underscore player equals underscore player game object dot transform, close that line off into the comments, underscore player equals, and we'll say copy underscore player game object transform. So yeah, sorry about that, but it just goes to show, no matter how experienced you are, we can all forget something, and let's just say it's been rather busy the last few days. I've had hardly any sleep and I forgot to put that line of code in, but never mind, let's go on with it. Let's retest. So we're going to get a null value until we load the player into the scene, which should occur now. So great, we have the FPS controller, which is our player with the tag. And as you can see, this is the reason why I've made them public. These three here are constantly updating based on the player's position. And that's so we know how close the player is to a particular spawn point. But that's all the basic functionality we need to get this manager loading and to get the player's position. And now we need to create the spawn points that are actually going to spawn these enemies. So we'll pick this up in the next video. So as always, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope to see you next time, and until then, as always, bye for now.